My nigga, this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. It's a real nigga celebration. It's a dime block declaration. 59th and 5th Ave, granny house with vanilla wafers. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the fucking matrix. Red rose in the great pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated so he get faded. But deep down inside he know you can't fade him. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meet preparation? I need some real nigga reparations, or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication. Look.
I spent my whole life thinking out the box. Boxing homies 3-on-1, got DP, but I ain't dropped. Chirp on me, here I come. Spin around the block, they blurped on me. Said I ran a stop sign, but that's a lie. I spent my whole life staring at the stage, playing Sega, daddy smoking Sherm, mama playing spades, catching vapors. Grandma said I get some Jordans for my grades, that's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways. I spent my whole life trying to make it, trying to chase it. The cycle of a black man divided, trying to break it. You take a lost shit, don't cry about it, just embrace it. Mine a setback for major comeback, that's my favorite. My nigga L said you do it song with Nip. K-Dot here better grip. I said he a man first, you hear the words out his lips about flourishing from the streets to black businesses. Level 4 y'all living, giving to false imprisonment. Listen close, my nigga, it's bigger than deuces and foes, my nigga. Since elementary, we close, my nigga, you're straight like that. I give you the game, go back to the turf and give it right back. For generations, we've been dealt bad hands with bad plans. Prove your dedication by hopping out Grand Ams. I'm at the premiere, politicking with Top Nip and Snoop. Damn, clock watching the way we grew from dedication.
Hello and welcome to my channel, Motorsports Review. Make sure you like today's video, subscribe to the channel, and also comment down below. Let's get into today's video. Alright, hello and welcome back. It's been a while. I haven't made a video in about 1.5 weeks, maybe 2. I'm not sure. I wasn't even keeping count of it. But I'm glad to say that we completed 5 videos last month, which was that was like my goal for last month. I didn't really tell the viewers because I just didn't tell them. But yeah, we've reached 5 videos this month, which that was like my goal, to make 5 videos this month, and we surely made 5 videos this month, and it was amazing. And today's video is going to be like part 2 of the Living Black in America series, episode 2. I don't know, you can say part 2 or episode 2, but I prefer episode 2. Anyways, I'm just going to recap of all the events that happened that I've missed because those days I didn't really come on. There was a lot of amazing things that took place, you know, a lot of new legislations. I should get into that. Yeah, so I'm very proud of what happened, and I hope to share them with you, which I'm pretty sure you already knew them, and if you don't know them, well, here's today's video, which you should be ashamed of yourself for not knowing those things. Yeah, a whole lot of stuff. But let's get into today's video. Alright, so a lot has happened in about 1.5 weeks. I'll just say that, 2 maybe. But anyways, a lot has happened. And we should probably go back to maybe, let's rewind all the way back to George Floyd's funeral. Now, there's a lot of things to really, you know, catch. And one thing that stuck out to me a lot is what Reverend Al Sharpton said during the funeral service for the public. And at that funeral service, we had, the governor, the mayor, and many other people, the family of George Floyd, and the family of other people who've lost family members due to police brutality. So I want to actually play that clip for you and get a sense of how you feel with that. But yeah, let me just play the clip.
I want us to not sit here and act like we had a funeral on the schedule. George Floyd should not be among the deceased. He did not die of common health conditions. He died of a common American criminal justice malfunction. He died because of there has not been the corrective behavior that has taught this country that if you commit a crime, it does not matter whether you wear blue jeans or a blue uniform, you must pay for the crime you commit. I saw somebody standing in front of a church the other day had been boarded up as a result of violence, held the Bible in his hand. I've been preaching since I was a little boy. I never seen anyone hold a Bible like that. But since he held the Bible, if he's watching us today, I would like him to open that Bible. And I'd like him to read Ecclesiastes 3. To every season, there's a time and a purpose. And I think that it is our job to let the world know when we see what is going on in the streets of this country and in Europe, around the world, that you need to know what time it is. First of all, we cannot use Bibles as a prop. And for those that have agendas that are not about justice, this family will not let you use George as a prop. If you want to get your stuff off, don't use him. Let us stand for what is right. Because when I got the call from Attorney Crump, and usually when he calls me, it's not to find out how I'm doing. It's usually because something happened that he wants National Action Network and I to get involved. And he explained to me what was happening with this case. And I'd already heard about it in the media. And immediately I said, well, let me know what you want me to do. He said, whatever you need to do. One of the things, Martin, that I've always had to deal with is critics would say, all Al Sharpton wants is publicity. Well, that's exactly what I want. Because nobody calls me to keep a secret. Because you get away too much with hiding things. Honey has talked about y'all putting clothes in the oven to have your clothes dried. Well, I didn't grow up in the third world, but I grew up in Third Ward. I grew up in Brownsville, and we had roaches. Now, I know Kevin Hart and some of the rich Hollywood folk here don't know what roaches are, but we had roaches, Ludacris. And one thing I found out about roaches is that if you keep the light off, if you're in the dark, a roach will pull up to your dinner table and have a 5-course meal. So I learned that one of the ways to deal with roaches is if you cut the light on. I could run them roaches and track them down. And I've spent all my life chasing roaches all over this country. As soon as I talked to the family and got the details and heard that among George's last words was, "I can't breathe," with a knee on his neck, I immediately thought about Eric Gardner. I did the eulogy at his funeral. And I called his mother. And I said, "I know we are not going out because of the coronavirus, but this is so much like Eric. If we could arrange some private way to go to Minneapolis, would you go?" And she said, "Rev Al, I'm already packing. Let me know." Tyler Perry said, "I'll give the families, the plane, whatever y'all need, because this is wrong." Robert Smith said, "Don't worry about the funeral costs." People across economic and racial lines started calling and getting in. And we flew out here, her and I, last Thursday. And when I stood at that spot, reason it got to me is George Floyd's story has been the story of black folks. Because ever since 401 years ago, the reason we could never be who we wanted and dreamed to be in is you kept your knee on our neck. You're smarter than the underfunded schools you put us in, but you had your knee on our neck. We could run corporations and not hustle in the street, but you had your knee on our neck. We had creative skills. We could do whatever anybody else could do, but we couldn't get your knee off our neck. What happened to Floyd happens every day in this country, in education, in health services, and in every area of American life. It's time for us to stand up in George's name and say, "Get your knee off our necks." That's the problem, no matter who you are. We thought maybe we had a complex, T.I., maybe it was just us. But even blacks that were broke through, you kept your knee on that neck. Yeah. Michael Jordan won all of these championships, and you kept digging for mess because you got to put a knee on our neck. White housewives would run home to see a black woman on TV named Oprah Winfrey, and you mess with her because you just can't take your knee off our neck. Man comes out of a single parent home, educates himself, and rises up and becomes the president of the United States. And you ask him for his birth certificate because you can't take your knee off our neck. The reason why we're marching all over the world is we were like George. We couldn't breathe, not because there was something wrong with our lungs, but you wouldn't take your knee off our neck. We don't want no favors. Just get up off of us, and we can be and do whatever we can be. There have been protests all over the world. Some have looted and done other things. And none of us in this family condones looting or violence. But the thing I want us to be real cognizant of is there's a difference between those calling for peace and those calling for quiet. Some of y'all don't want peace. You just want quiet. You just want us to shut up and suffer in silence. The overwhelming majority of the people marching wasn't breaking windows. They were trying to break barriers. They wasn't trying to steal nothing. They were trying to get back the justice you stole from us. Those that broke the law should pay for whatever law they broke, but so should the 4 policemen that caused this funeral today. We don't have a problem denouncing violence, Mr. Governor. We don't have a problem, Mr. Mayor, denouncing looting. But it seems like some in the criminal justice system have a problem looking at a tape and knowing there's probable cause, and it takes a long time for you to go and do what you see that you need to do. But I'm one that, as Ben Crump said, National Action Network and I have been involved in a lot of these fights. We started around criminal justice. I did speeches and eulogies at most of the funerals that we've had in this space in the last couple of decades, and led the marches and did what we had to do. I look at Martin III, we went to jail together fighting these fights, like his daddy went to jail before. Yes. There is a time and a season. And when I looked this time and saw marches where in some cases young whites outnumbered the blacks marching, I know that it's a different time and a different season. When I looked and saw people in Germany marching for George Floyd, it's a different time and a different season. When they went in front of the parliament in London, England, and said it's a different time and a different season, I come to tell you, America, this is the time of dealing with accountability in the criminal justice system. Stephen, years ago, I went to march. Now I remember a young white lady looked me right in the face and said, "Nigga, go home." But when I was here last Thursday, and Miss Carr and I was headed back to the airport, I stopped near the police station. And as I was talking to a reporter, a young white girl, she didn't look no older than 11 years old. She tagged my suit jacket. And I looked around and I braced myself. And she looked at me and said, "No justice, no peace." It's a different time. It's a different season. And if my Bible carrying guy out in front of that boarded up church, if I got him to open up the Bible, I want you to remember something. You know, I was late last October to an appointment because the time changed. And I was still, my watch was on the wrong time. You know, once a year, time goes forward. And if you don't, Congresswoman Omar, move your watch, you're going to find yourself an hour late, not because your watch was wrong, but you had your watch on the wrong time. Well, I come to tell you that are sitting in Washington, talking about militarizing the country, thinking that you can sell wolf tickets to people who's had enough of abuse. I come to tell you, you can get on the TV, but you on the wrong time. Time is out for not holding you accountable. Time is out for you making excuses. Time is out for you trying to stall. Time is out for empty words and empty promises. Time is out for you filibustering and trying to stall the arm of justice. This is the time. We won't stop. We gonna keep going until we change the whole system of justice.
Now, I played that clip for you. I wonder how you feel from that. Now, me, that was a powerful moment. Like, that was a amazing moment, the way he addressed all the issues. That was very impressive. It also came at people like Senator Ilhan Omar and, you know, the governor's handling and the mayor's handling of the situation. It was a lot that you could really take from that. It was a lot of important things that you can really take from that video. And he addressed a lot of the issues. Now, during that time, there were, the family of George Floyd, many of the political figures, except for a few, but also the family of other people who died because of the cause of like police brutality in America. And that's a big issue in America. I think right about now it's a, wake up call for everyone. And America is starting to wake up. Now we see a lot more diverse crowds within these protests. So, you see a lot of blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans. You get a lot of sense of people in those crowds, and it's not just one race. And what's also good to mention is that you have people from all over the world coming together. As you probably seen, they took down the statue in, I believe, London, yeah, in many other places. Putting them in education and help us remember them. We don't really need statues, and the only thing statues really do is they stay there, and they're meant to last for hundreds of years, which some people don't even deserve to be put on statues, which I don't see why they're so emotionally attached to it. A lot of other things happen, like they passed the Eric Garner law, where like they banned chokeholds. There's also the Breonna Taylor law, where they banned like no-knock warrants. So like they can just burst into your house without knocking on your door and stuff. They banned that in Kentucky. It was very impressive, and I think America's starting to wake up, and people are starting to see the true colors of how the government is set up. Systemic racism. I mean, just taking a lot of important points from that is, that's the interesting part about it. You can take a lot of important points from it. We also seen numerous amount of other great things during these, periods, like the man who helped pick up a all-right guy, because there was a clash between, two protesters, similar to Charlottesville, but, it was against, the people of London who were in support of George Floyd, and those on the right wing, like the right-wing groups who were there to go against the protesters. But I think what was really nice to take from that point is that I liked it when the man really picked up, one of the guys from the right wing, and the message that he had was very interesting, and you can take a lot from it. I actually want you guys to hear it. Here it is.
Is this you in the photograph?
Yes, that is me in that photograph.
Can you describe to me what's happening in this picture?
My friends and I had put a cordon around this man. He was sort of on the stairs, lying in the fetal position, with anything was about to happen to him. The first time I saw him was when I sort of climbed underneath him to go and pick him up.
And you could have looked at this man and thought, he is my enemy. Why did you choose to help him?
There was a particular thought that I had that, you have to show some sort of, love for your fellow man, okay, regardless, because I was saying that if the other three officers that were present when George Floyd was unfortunately murdered, if just one of them had stepped in and stopped, their fellow officer from doing what he did, he'd be alive today.
And you put him on your shoulder, you carried him over to the police, then what happens?
I'm carrying him, my friends are surrounding me, protecting myself and the man on my shoulder. He was, still sort of receiving blows. You could sort of feel people trying to hit him. Carried him over to the police, and I said, "Here you are." And one of the police officers said, "Thank you. You did a good thing then."
What do you want people to take away when they look at that picture?
I think hopefully they'll take away breaking down the race barriers, and realise and see that we're all one people, that we're all one race.
So okay, I see. So what did you actually get from that? I mean, make sure you guys comment down below. I think his message was very clear. I think that's what we really need right now. It's more love and compassion rather than just having a lot of hate, I hate this group because they did so much to us, or I hate that. America, the world needs to see more love than rather hate. Because if we just, you know, provide more hate, then we have a spread of, we're just gonna get nowhere. And these issues don't get resolved. If we're gonna find some more support and make a bigger difference, we're gonna need more love in the world to really get to where we need to go. That's just, you know, that's just a simple variable, you know. If you have hate and hate, you know, you're not gonna get anywhere, because it just creates more hate. And the more hate, you know, we go nowhere, because now this group hates this group and this group hates this group. It's not a one-on-one battle. It's a battle where it's not like this side and that side. It's not a two-sided story. It's one side, and we are looking to solve the issue. It should be a one-side argument, not something that's two-sided. And that creates a lot of controversy, which we don't need right now in this period of time. We need more love, in a sense. So that is very important to, you know, mention. Also, you know, we're going down deep. I also want to mention what happened in Philadelphia. You know, the independent media group Unicorn Riot, the one I mentioned in the previous video. If you haven't seen the previous video, please go check that out. They're an amazing independent media group. They actually go and speak with the actual protesters and really give you their side of the story stuff. I think they're very amazing. So while they're in Philadelphia, you know, there's a right-wing group that, you know, was protecting the Christopher Columbus statue, which, you know, if you don't know, Christopher Columbus, you know, wasn't so much of a hero, right? He wasn't so much of a hero. He actually, you know, would cut off people's hands, and he would really abuse the indigenous people. So anyways, you had a couple Italians and a couple, you know, other white folks and a lot of armed people in the area, right? So we have, you know, one of the journalists from, actually, let me just pull up the clip for you guys to see and get what you guys feel about the whole situation.
Master Cat. Sir, I'm just here taking a video of you with your bat. You're here by the Columbus statue with the bat. That seems newsworthy to me. That's all. Any of you guys want to tell me why you're out here today?
None of your fucking business. What do you think? We're preserving culture. We're preserving heritage and history. This has nothing to do with racism, pal.
Does it have to do?
This has to do with history. There is no racism going on tonight. None. We love everybody. This is history. We're protecting history.
Sir, please don't.
You're so scared. Aren't you embarrassed?
I can give you my business card, sir, if there's a problem.
Aren't you embarrassed? You're embarrassed. You're an embarrassment. You're an embarrassment.
So what do you think about how Christopher Columbus cut off the hands of people who didn't bring him enough gold?
They were fucking savages back then. They all.
This guy just hit me in the head. Sir, can I have my bike back? Sir, let me have my bicycle.
You can have it. You want to talk shit? Get the fuck out of here. Get that fucking. Get that. Get that.
No violence. No violence. Stop it. Please go.
What? Here's my group's card.
Thank you. And I'm sorry. Stop.
You guys want to tell me why you're out here?
We're out here. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Put the camera down. You want to tell me why you're out here
You do
today?
not have permission to.
Does anyone want to tell me why you're out here today with bats and guns at the Christopher Columbus statue?
Because we are protecting a statue that we paid for. We're here protesting and protecting our statue in peace.
Leave him alone. It's alright. It's alright. Put it away. You did the right thing. Don't worry.
Hey, maybe pretend you don't know me. Just pretend you don't know me. for a little bit.
I said I don't want to fucking film you because I don't want to fucking film you. I don't want to fucking film you. I don't care. I don't fucking care about it. Mike, I ain't fucking going nowhere. Mike, if they ain't got to go nowhere, we ain't going nowhere.
Can you repeat that? I didn't catch that.
No, I'm giving you 3 warnings to disperse.
Okay.
3 warnings.
All right.
Obviously, it's a volatile situation, and you're aggravating the situation.
I'm here as a journalist to document this situation.
Warnings,
so you're telling me that as a
Warning
journalist...
number 1, I'm asking you to leave.
Okay.
To quell the situation. Okay? That's your first warning. You want a time check?
I just... You understand that I'm telling you... I just want your confirmation. You understand I'm telling you...
8:48 p.m.
I'm here as a journalist.
8:48, and you're inciting a riot.
I'm here as a journalist. You're saying I'm inciting a riot as a
Yes, sir.
journalist?
Yes, sir. 8:48 p.m.
So I can no longer fulfill my journalistic obligations
correct
to
at this
document
point
this
in
scene.
time.
Okay, can you give me your name and badge number as
You
the
have
person
my
telling
name
me
and
this?
badge number.
Can you say it for me out loud?
No, I can't. You can read it off my badge.
Okay.
135 is my badge number. All right?
All right.
Second warning. What time is it?
8:49.
8:49.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to comply with your order.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So what actually unfolded, as you can see, a lot of tension took place. They were treating the journalist badly, you know, they were, you know, pushing him around and stuff. They were telling him to go. They popped his bicycle tire, which I think is very unfortunate. It was very unnecessary. The guy was just trying to ask them a question. I just think it's shameful enough. And then you have this high-ranking officer telling him he has 3 warnings to leave. And as you can see towards the end of the video, he, you know, zooms in to the officer, and you can see how he's socializing with them, you know, laughing around with them. So it really gives you an idea of his character. I think it was like very unfortunate. It was like just uncalled for to really treat someone in the media. And this is not just one moment. It's been multiple moments where the multiple incidents that, you know, happen with journalists and officers, and I just think it's just messed up. But you know, we see a lot of that, and it's just uncalled for. One other thing I want to get to is NASCAR. You know, what NASCAR did was they banned the Confederate flag. I want to also, you know, like that Bubba Wallace actually spoke out on this issue, and many of the drivers supported him. And I guess that's what caused NASCAR to really make that decision. I just think it's uncalled for the guy to, you know, leave NASCAR for just a flag. So, you know, I mean, we don't really need him. I don't think he was, I mean, who really cared about him? He lost a lot of things, you know. He made a lot of, you know, he made some uncalled for statements. It just was useless at the end of the day. I'm glad he left because we don't need that in NASCAR. NASCAR is more about, you know, being diverse and having a good time. It should be more welcoming. So I think that's really good that NASCAR has stepped up to really remove the Confederate flag from the whole. They just banned. I'm glad that they banned the Confederate flag. I also want to mention that Bubba Wallace, for his race car, he painted it black and, you know, put hashtag Black Lives Matter with, you know, a bunch of hands on the hood. It was actually really nice. It was really beautiful. And I gotta say, I gotta give props to them. But I just think the Confederate flag should be like banned, you know, towards on a federal level, I think a lot of the issues will be resolved. I believe the Supreme Court should really ban, you know, racial symbols, because we don't really need that in America. America's really dividing itself, and we don't really need that. And I don't even think we need, you know, I don't really think we need the, you know, what race are you, like on the application. We don't really need that, because we're just one race, the human race. What does, like, I don't know why people don't wonder this, but what does the actual race, what does telling a business your race actually do? Like, when you're signing up on an application, what does it actually do for you? In a sense, it's just benefiting them, telling you, you know, you telling them what you really are. But I just think we don't really need it. It's sort of uncalled for. So I don't think it should really matter what I am, but it should matter on who I am and how I interact with people. I think that's, you know, probably the most important thing. So yeah, and then we also had a week, you know, I also want to thank Sesame Street for talking on race, explaining it to children. They did that on a CNN, you know, Zoom call, where, you know, Elmo talks to his dad about race and he learns about race and stuff like that. I think that was very impressive. And I think it's kind of weird that Band-Aid came up with, you know, the skin color Band-Aid. You know, why did they do this a long time ago? Like, I mean, you have Sesame Street that got a Band-Aid before all these people. You got all these different Band-Aids, and now all of a sudden they come up with this skin color Band-Aid. And also Walmart plans on, you know, putting more black hair products outside, because usually, you know, they lock up certain products, and the black hair products were locked up, but now they're going to be open on display, which I'm happy they're doing that. They're taking up their measures to do amazing things. You also have Netflix donating money. So yeah, we have a lot of these companies coming in support of Black Lives Matter. Some of them don't have any good intentions. Some of them do. I'm not really going to judge on the intentions, because I don't really know much about those people. I don't know anything about those people, so I'm not really going to get into that. But I'm glad they're actually taking the measures to really think about these people. But yeah, there's a lot that took place this month. I mean, this last 2 weeks. We also had the killing of Rayshard Brooks, which was really uncalled for. I should probably put that clip up for you guys to see what actually happened. I'm gonna warn you, it's kind of disturbing.
All right, just take a deep breath in, put your mouth over the mouthpiece, blow as hard as you can until I tell you to stop. Blow, 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 stop. Very good.
I just had a few drinks, that's it.
How many?
1.5. Like I said, I was into the second cup. I wasn't even, I told her, babe, let's go, because I'm hungry.
What kind of drinks did you have?
I'm not sure. It's something she ordered. She said top shelf or whatever.
Top shelf what?
I'm not sure. It was, like I said, it was her birthday, and it was my daughter's birthday intent to, you know, have a good time. And I said, babe, you know, I'm hungry. Let's go. My baby's mom, she was there. I said, babe, go ahead. I'm cool. You know, here's the money for the blow-up bed tomorrow. Here's the money for, you know, to enjoy herself tomorrow. Just, you know, give me a burger or something.
Right.
Just take me home. I'm ready to go.
So you had about 1.5 drinks, but you don't remember what kind of drinks they were?
No, sir.
All right.
I really don't, Mr. Ross.
All right. I think you've had too much to drink to be driving, so put your hands behind your back for me. Here, put your hands behind your back.
Hey, stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
Come on, man.
Stop! You're gonna get tased!
It's the road.
Hey, hands off the fucking taser!
Stop!
Hands off the
fighting.
taser! Stop fighting! Hands off the taser! Stop fighting! You got the fucking taser! Oh, 63! Put your hands on your back! Put your hands on your back!
I think the moments were really uncalled for. I mean, he was just drunk. It didn't really take that many measures to really go beyond that to kill the guy. The guy insisted on walking home to his sister's house, but I don't know why the officers didn't really let him walk home. You're supposed to serve and protect the community. I don't even know why they didn't drive him home. So those are a lot of points that I still don't know, you know, why they couldn't do those certain things. And those are the similar issues that the you know, communities are talking about. These are the issues that we as people are talking about. And these are the same issues that are causing much trouble throughout America because of the color of the skin. And that's very shameful in a sense. You know, we shouldn't look down on people because of the way they look. And I also want to add another video. For those of you who say he should have never ran, maybe he'd still be alive, because that point is a very rude point. And I want to actually give you an idea of who the guy was. And in this video, this might change your mind.
System could, you know, look at us as individuals. We do have lives, you know, it's just a mistake we made, you know, and, you know, not just do us as if we are animals. And that's a hard feeling to stomach, you know, with you going out and you're trying, and by you having this so-called record, you know, it's hindering us from going out in public to, you know, try and provide for ourselves as far as getting a job and getting ourselves back on track. It's making us fall behind. Sometimes we lose jobs, you know, a lot of things that we lose, you know, by being incarcerated. You know, so me going through that process, it hardened me at a point, you know, to like, hey, you know, I have to have my guard up because the world is cruel. But here yet, I'm trying. You know, I'm not the type of person to give up, you know, and I'm going to keep going until I make it to where I want to be.
Does that look like a bad person to you? That doesn't look like a bad person to me. In fact, he really went on issues that really happen in our own communities. This is how people feel. And this is how we live our life. We don't have the same advantages as any other community, you know? And I feel like that's shameful. It's uncalled for. We don't, you know, need to be treated differently from everyone else. I feel like the same treatment should happen throughout these communities, because we all need, you know, someone to mentor us. We all need, you know, someone to tell us, you know, the straight way. We all need, you know, not to be held like accountable, probably 3 months in jail just for, you know, walking in the street or looking suspicious, so to say. We don't really need that. We just need a chance and someone to really guide us to becoming successful. And that is very important, but I don't think many of our, you know, lawmakers prioritize that. In fact, they put the money where it's not needed, uncalled for, and that's, you know, putting it inside the police when they can put it inside the communities. Funding after-school programs will probably lower crime rates. There's many studies that show that, but who's really willing to listen to those people who actually put the work to, you know, study these issues? Nobody. And no politician. They were more worried on things that, you know, concerned them. Also, you know, maybe it's because, I mean, look at this way. You know, the police unions, they're an organization. They get donors from other people. And sometimes they even bribe politicians to get things to go their way. Similar to how the NRA, you know, was giving endorsements to Marco Rubio. Now, when he spoke out on these issues to the teens in Florida, they were very upset because of the situation. You know, they didn't really agree with that. In fact, they lost many of their, you know, fellow friends and peers because of this school shooting incident, which was very uncalled for. It should have never happened. And yet, the NRA failed, I mean, our politicians failed to hold the NRA accountable. And this is why America, you know, ends up the way it is. Because we have politicians who fail to do what's right. And that's a key point I want to point at. We need better politicians. We need people who actually care for these communities. We want them to actually listen to the communities and not listen to the money. Because when they listen to the money, things go haywire. They get caught up in caught up in scandals and allegations, and you know, it's the end of their career for them. So yeah, a lot has happened, but I'll get more into it for what happens next in the next video, episode 3. As I said, I'm not gonna like move away from this issue because I want, you know, to get my voice out there as much as possible, because I think that's very important. We shouldn't shy away from these type of things. We should actually take the time to really talk about these issues the way they are. And that's very important because it really shows who you are as a person. I just think it's important that I really speak out. And so that's my, you know, analysis, summary of what happened, and also my opinion. So yeah, that'll be all for today's video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also hit that bell icon. I'm Abubakar on Motorsports Review. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.